Don't clap. Just kidding. Okay, so hold on. Let's just hold on there. Because we have a motion.
Right, it's to postpone.
To postpone.
And did you say for a week, Councilmember Campos, or did you want 2 weeks? Okay.
So what do you want to, because we have a motion and a second.
Okay, it's till the
Do you want
25th.
to
Okay.
continue that?
Do we have to make the amendments first for the old?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
What
she's
direction do we
postponing.
want to go
this
in?
first? Okay.
She can withdraw that altogether.
Yeah, you could just.
She can withdraw it altogether and we start fresh, but
What's,
Okay.
okay, so you still want to postpone? So we're going to vote on the motion to
Gil's-
postpone for 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Correct? Okay.
Can you put
Yeah.
your light on, please?
Till February 25th.
Okay, Councilwoman Campos.
My original motion was to postpone for 2 more weeks. So and I was second.
That's what you want to do, though?
Yes.
Okay, but what's the plan over there on the
My
end?
plan is to make an amendment to the plan.
Well, this is your
The old
time.
plan, no, to the
No,
old
we're
plan
gonna
that we've
vote
been
on
living under all this time, to make sure that they can use drip, they can do hand watering. Help me. What else did they need?
Okay, so moratorium on meters goes to water emergency, but then again, we've changed
postpone's higher than
stage 4 to a water emergency.
Yeah.
So that would be something that
Are
we
you
would
getting this,
have to
Rebecca? 'Cause
include.
I'm not going to remember it.
Ma'am, well, we've got it. We have to vote. The motion to
Right.
postpone is in order. The motion to amend is
And I
not.
can come back. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we just need to just get that motion to postpone out of the way. And the discussion really should be limited to the postponement. That's what
Okay.
we need to be talking about right now.
Right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to postpone for 2
Right.
weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
So if that passes,
Then it's postponed for 2 weeks. And then
I thought you wanted to do, okay. Okay,
Can I ask a question?
yes. Well, actually, Councilman.
It's all right.
Barrera. Okay, Councilman Roy.
So I want to understand this. If we make a motion to postpone, the changes that you were talking about in terms of the average user going from 3,000 to 7,000 wouldn't take place. So that could be another thing that if we go back to the old plan that we would ask for an amendment? So, I mean, it's kind of.
We're kind of getting to the point where
Yeah,
we
we're
pretty much
making
have
the new
everything
plan.
that we've already put in the plan.
In the new-
I'm not sure what we're not putting in what we
Okay,
wouldn't
I
include.
just, I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to make sure I understood that.
Yeah.
let me put my glasses on so I can see.
Okay, everyone please submit your vote on postponing for 2 weeks. Oh, go ahead. No, go. You want to put it on? Sure. Okay, all in favor say aye to postpone for 2 weeks. Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed. Nay.
I'm opposed. But we lose.
We tied again?
No, it was 3. Mark, what was your?
Nay.
Oh, did you?
Oh, so it's 4-4.
Can we do a
So it was 4-4.
Okay, can we do a roll call, please?
So now-
Just for clarity, a roll call. Okay, so Councilman.
Okay, you know what? All right. I'm
Could
going
do a roll call?
I'm going
Okay.
to change my vote, so.
All right, so I'm going to call the
Start.
roll. Councilmember Barrera,
No.
Campos? Cantu? Yes. Hernandez? Yes. Paxson is absent. Roy?
No.
Scott? No. Oops, no. Vaughn? Yes. And Mayor Guajardo?
Aye.
Okay, so it passes. It's postponed for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Can't talk about it anymore for 2 weeks.
No. I
Yeah.
asked if I can make the amendment so
If the postponement failed, but yeah, no, it was contingent upon that if the postponement failed. But you can make it in 2 weeks. Yeah. Are you going to change it?
Okay.
I'm sorry, if it failed, you could make it. I'm sorry, I meant if it failed.
And I tried to make it, and they told me I couldn't do it until after the fact.
No, that's true, but the amendment can only be made after
Okay,
it fails.
but if
It
she
failed.
changes her vote and we make those amendments, then we can do it.
I'm sorry?
No, if she changes her vote. Because I thought she was making the amendment that she talked about.
I'm sorry, Carolyn, I thought you understood
And
that.
she thought she was going to make that amendment because you guys were over there. Gil was directing traffic, so I thought you were making that amendment.
I said, not changing that. I was told yes.
Do you want to
It wasn't
reconsider
if it was a yes or a no. I was told yes. I looked right at Mr. Sononi. He shook his head yes. And I trust that he knows what he's doing. A little confused right now, aren't we?
Okay, so-
Yeah, I would reconsider the vote if you wanted to.
Yeah, and
what I
then
want-
make the
yeah.
amendments. And then make your amendments that we were talking
So I
about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that wasn't clear, Carolyn.
Okay.
Yeah. Councilmember Vaughn.
Yeah, because
do that.
we need to just make this change real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Okay, so we're going to reconsider, so someone on the prevailing side needs to make that motion. So Councilmember Vaughn, would you like to? You want to make the motion to reconsider?
Councilman, you have a comment?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there are two separate things. We're talking about the what we postponed for 2 weeks was the current plan that we have on the agenda. However, we still have we're still talking about the plan as the previous plan that this is supposed to replace. So they're two separate items, right? So I don't think we need to reconsider the previous item for the new plan to make an motion for an amendment to the existing plan to hold us over until we get the new plan completed. If you
We're talking
have-
about this ordinance here.
Right.
That's
so-
not posted. I mean, I guess I have to ask
Okay,
Miles
but-
about that.
And I'll state this, that we're talking about the drought contingency plan. It's posted that we're talking about the drought contingency plan. All these people here know that we're talking about the drought contingency plan.
I know,
so
but
we're
you
not,
can't,
we're
it's
not,
hard to legislate on the dais, like right here. I mean, we would need.
I'm not
we need
legislating.
Attorneys need time to look at that. I mean,
Okay.
this is very important
I
ordinance.
understand what you're
I don't-
saying.
I don't know about that.
I understand what you're saying, but what we're talking about is when you're talking about the Open Meetings Act, is that it has posted about the drought contingency plan, right? We're not addressing anything that is not posted. So for us to be able to modify an existing drought contingency plan that is on the agenda, we should be able to do that. It shouldn't be just, okay, it's absolutism. It really isn't. And, that's probably why the city manager said, yeah, we could do that. We're talking about the drought contingency plan. If there's three things that were needed to address. The restrictions on the water meters in stage 3, move that to stage 4, and not the emergency thing that we have in the new one. The second one was allow for drip irrigation for water for, what is it?
Landscaping.
Landscaping,
Not
right?
grass, but
Not grass, but landscaping.
Right.
And then also the same thing for hand watering of the plants, landscaping
plants and
around.
trees,
So,
right.
so those are the three things that we just need to modify for the next 2 weeks. Those three things, and then everything else is. I'm saying
Okay.
if that was the reason for the delay, for being concerned about the delay. I mean, there's something that I would like to, with regards to the authorization thing at 5, but I'm willing to wait for 2 weeks to do it. I don't, I actually handed Drew a copy of the language that I'm looking at. So if we really want to help if the whole thing is to help individuals that are affected by this, let's do that. If it's not, but if we're just going to rush through this and do this and then regret it later, it's almost impossible for us to bring it back, because when we do bring it back, we have to have 3 council members do it, and then we're lambasted for doing it. So I'd rather do it right the first time and not try and do it a second time.
Well, that's
Thank
certainly
you.
not true, but we'll move on from that comment. Well, I don't even know what he just said, but Rebecca was saying no. So I'm going to go with the recommendation from our parliamentarian.
Reconsider the vote.
Go ahead.
Consider the vote. Yeah.
All right. I guess, because she wants, so you don't want to make your amendment in 2 weeks, you want to make it right now. Okay.
Right. Well, then I guess I need to do the
Okay,
same.
so make your motion to reconsider, the motion to postpone for 2 weeks, please. You want to reconsider it,
Will that be for both, Rebecca?
ma'am?
For both? Both votes?
Who else?
Myself, well, but
is
I'd
she
rather
gonna
go on
reconsider?
record because I thought she was making an amendment and that didn't happen. No, that's what, I need to reconsider my vote.
Okay, so that'll count.
Okay.
You're just, because we're voting on that motion to post,
Right.
that's what passed. Okay, so you made the motion, and are you going to is someone going to second that, please? The motion to reconsider.
Who?
She made it, so Mayor, you can second it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
second-
so you're going to
second.
second it. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so all in favor of the motion to reconsider? Mayor?
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Say no. Okay, great. It
All right,
passes.
so now let's go back. So now we've reconsidered, it passed, and now we're back to our motion to postpone for 2 weeks.
Okay, all in favor, say
Well,
aye.
can we do a roll call? Because
Well, we're
so
just
now we've
retaking the vote.
reconsidered. We reconsidered it, so now we're going to vote on it.
We're voting the same.
Yes, sir, that's right. So is that clear? I'd like to do a roll call. That would be a lot cleaner. Okay, so for passage of this motion to postpone, Councilmembers Barrera? No. Campos? Yes. Cantu? What happened?
We're voting on the original motion.
The amendment, yes. The amendment, that's what we're voting on. So Barrera, Campos, Cantu? So we're voting on the motion to postpone. It's like deja vu. We're voting on the motion to postpone for 2 weeks because we reconsidered it because Councilmember Vaughn wants to make an amendment. Right. Okay, so what was your vote, sir? Yes, okay, great. Hernandez?
Yes.
Paxson is absent. Roy?
No.
Scott?
No.
Vaughn? No. Mayor Guajardo?
No.
Okay, so it fails. All right, so now we're back to your amendment. What's your amendment, ma'am?
Make the amendment that we allow them to hand water, drip, what was the other one?
To the original plan?
Restrictions on water meter to stage 4. Allow for drip irrigation, stage 3, hand watering to plants
In stage 3.
in stage 3.
Okay, so you're adding that to what?
To the
To the
current.
old plan.
Yeah, to the current plan that exists.
Okay,
they
so
can do
is
it
that,
right now.
is that in order?
What else?
We're not. What's on the table is the amendments to the following sections of the city code: 55-150, 55-152, 55-153, 55-154, and 55-155, and it's being heard on second reading.
Okay.
So we don't know what 55-1, 55-2, all that stuff is.
Yes, and what you have in front of you is the sections that relate to the city's drought contingency measures. The items that are highlighted are the changes that are being recommended by this, and the one you have before you that's in your packet is the changes that are recommended by city staff that changed from the last reading, that would change from the last reading if you amend the highlighted items into it. Yes, it's the 55-150 through 155 of the city code.
Yes, okay. Okay.
So that's what's on the table is that ordinance.
Make sure you have the February 11th red line.
That's what I'm saying. It is so confusing.
Yeah, but Miles, couldn't the motion be that the council, this council wants to accept only the changes relative to drip irrigation and hand watering and nothing else?
Well, since we're on second reading, you'd be deleting all the other stuff.
Right.
That's not what that
That's what the
represents.
point is.
So we need to go through in writing and delete those items that don't represent what you want there.
Can't you say everything but the two items?
Okay,
Say
so
it.
here's the deal. We're like mixing a lot of stuff up. I think what we need to do is table this whole thing as a whole, because the first reading included things that we'd have to pick out to customize it to those things. So let's just, I would advise that we table it, and then we use that time to fix it up exactly how we want it, because this is not going to work. We're mixing, we're mixing the first reading, what we passed, with the second reading, which we're changing, deleting, and it just.
Can I make a quick summary that I think may help? So the only thing that has changed, we voted, council voted last time, January 28th, for all the things that we had on the 28th. And we've only added 3 additional items based on the input that we saw from the last 2 weeks. The first one was the moratorium. We moved the moratorium on new meters to the emergency water trigger stage. That is this slide right here. So that's one. And then the other one is for non-exempt large volume users, we've increased the surcharge, optional surcharge, from $1, $2, and $4 per 1,000 gallons to $3, $6, and $12 per 1,000 gallons for users who use over 12.8 million gallons a month. Those are really the only 2 changes. The next change that you see right there was really just an editorial change. So that's really it. So if the council liked what they saw on January 28th, then this is the only 2 changes that were made since then.
Okay, Councilman Scott. All right, we're going to move on. Okay, Councilman Hernandez.
Okay, so since we're all thoroughly confused, let's go back to the original motion of postponing for 2 weeks and come back and revisit this. I gave you what's important to me in terms of amendments. So you can add that to your list, but I make a motion to postpone for 2 weeks to the original motion.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what we had just said when you walked out.
And the reason I say that is because we're going to be gone to Austin for the rest of this week for the most part, and so I don't think we'll have some time to address it this week. So that's why it's a good thing to have it for an additional week. Thank you.
Councilman Barrera.
So I just want, so right now, non-exempt high volume water users. Right, am I on?
Yes.
Non-exempt high volume water users, those that requested that aren't part of the surcharge. So anybody using more than, I think I calculated like 400,000 gallons, 500,000 gallons a day is going to be charged a surcharge of $6, or it's 6 or 12?
6 in stage 3.
6 in stage 3. So anybody using more, and that's one of the things that I want to add on to the individuals that have been so passionate about coming to us on this, is that those that are large volume water users using more than 500,000 gallons a day are going to pay a surcharge of $6 per 1,000 gallons, or $3 in stage 2, $6 in the water emergency, and what's the 12,000? What's the $12?
$12 is if we're in a water emergency.
Okay, 12. So stage 2 is 3, stage 3 is 6. So right now we're 6. So some of our friends in San Patricio County are now going to have to pay the $6 immediately.
If we implement surcharges, yes, sir.
Okay, well, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm saying right now. So we're going to postpone that for 2 weeks. So Steel Dynamics is going to get a pass for 2 weeks. Steel Dynamics is going to get a pass for 2 weeks.
Guys,
So that's the thing that I'm not going to support, because I think those that chose not to be part of the surcharge, those are the ones that need to pay. Because they haven't been team players for the whole thing. And I want to vote on that today. I want to make sure those individuals that weren't part of the surcharge pay. So I don't know what motion was made, but I just want to make that very clear. So I want them to start paying as soon as possible, and I want the meters to all of a sudden now, so those to go into to the water emergency, and the same thing that we go into drip irrigation. I don't understand what the complicated process is, because the thing is that I can tell you what a lot of these individuals that spoke when they came to public comment during the listening session is their frustration is that they want those to remove the surcharge and they automatically start paying. So that's going to be a topic that won't be resolved in 2 weeks. I can tell you right now. So right now we can start charging those that chose not to participate right away. We can bring relief to the small business owners, so that way we can do the water in the lawns, the drip irrigation, the meters. So that way, if we approve this today, and then we can amend it in a month, we can have more listening sessions, but we can amend it in a month. All we're going to do is we're going to give small business the opportunity, just like I said, those 3 items. So if no motion has been made, I move for approval. Okay. All right. Then I'll vote that down. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you ready to vote?
and it's 2 weeks.
I know. I don't.
Well, like I said, I think they ought to pay their fair share. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Okay. All right, we have a motion, and we have a second on the
Correct.
motion.
So Councilmember Hernandez made the motion, seconded by Councilmember Campos, to postpone for 2 weeks. That's what's on the floor. I know, because it wasn't clear that Ms. Vaughn's amendment wasn't it was out of order, or yeah. So not until after the reconsideration
But by
took place.
postponing, right, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so postponing, yeah, microphone, yeah.
Postpone table is the same thing, yeah. And under our rules.
You can do that again after it failed?
Because we reconsidered it, yeah.
No, it's a new motion. No, we voted to reconsider it. Mm-hmm. Reconsidered it and we voted it down. So we're going to vote the same motion that we voted down again. Who's going to reconsider it?
Well, I mean, you want to make it a table then? Motion to table? No, not table indefinitely. That's postponed indefinitely. Yeah, we'll just change it to table. Okay. So it's a motion to table for 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to do a roll call vote. So Councilmembers Barrera?
No.
Campos? Yes. Cantu?
Yes.
Hernandez? Aye. Paxson is absent. Roy?
No.
Scott? No. Vaughn? Oh, okay. It is. Mayor Guajardo?
No. It's a tie,
Okay, so it fails.
so it fails.
Okay.
Okay, I move for approval.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. As is, correct? Yes. Councilman, as is,
As is.
the original. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead, Rebecca. Or do you want us
Okay,
to
so
vote
I
here?
have that
or-
on here, but
Those who didn't speak earlier. Right.
yes, that's right, for those who didn't speak earlier.
Oh, because it's, okay. We're going to open public comment. Come on down.
would like, as is does not bring in any of the highlighted material you have in that ordinance.
No, what was brought, yes.
Then you need to,
That's what I
because you've
meant.
done the first reading, you need to do an amendment to amend to include the highlighted items. Because it was already adopted
All
on
right, well,
first reading.
that's what you meant. So moved. Okay, Mr. Rice.
Yes, Connor Rice, District 2. Obviously, this is, you heard your public comment from earlier today. I'm not a paid staffer. I will say that, make it very clear. I think this plan is, I think the city staff and the city water department is rushing this through. And they're trying to use your landscapers as a buyout to say, do you want to help your small businesses or do you want to help or not? And the reality is you can amend the current plan. And I think that motion should be made again because you can make it. It's already been posted as Councilmember Hernandez made. It is on city. The item has already been posted to the public. You don't have to put that whole entire description to exactly what you're doing. If you ask any of the Open Meetings Act lawyers who already highlighted this, you don't have to tell them exactly what you're doing. So you can make the motion to amend the current plan as is. Otherwise, I'd vote to kill this plan.
Thank you, Mr. Rice. Anyone else? Mr. Paulson.
Mayor, City Council, good evening. Bob Paulison, I reside in Corpus Christi District 4, also the Executive Director of the Coastal Bend Industry Association. Really the point I want to make is just to go back to my comments from 2 weeks ago and the item that I had concern about. In the intervening 2 weeks, we've been able to review the plan multiple times, meet with city staff multiple times, and resolve that issue, which relates to the economic incentive that's provided by a harsher surcharge. And we think that's been resolved in the current plan. The only other thing I'll say is that from our perspective, the industry perspective, there's no other items that we would consider material to pass in the plan today from our perspective, and we support passage today. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anyone else? Yes, come forward. Sorry.
Hi, Beatriz, District 2. I just wanted to second what was said by Connor Rice. There was a lot of confusion, but clearly you can amend what was right. So, I mean, what needs to pass could pass today and give us the discretion that I think a lot of business owners have been given the time. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Mr. Munster? Mark, did you already speak?
I talked about other topics earlier.
Is that correct?
Yes. If you could amend the current plan now, why wasn't that offered to the irrigators and all the meetings with them? If that was the option this whole time to amend the current plan, why was that not done? That's what I don't understand. That was the whole reason that you're trying to get this passed, was for them. If that was available the whole time, what was those meetings about? I don't understand that, right? So yeah, I thought that using the small business owners was already...
Mr. Munster, you did speak on the drought contingency plan.
Oh, he did?
A lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Don't act like y'all are following the rules. Yes, sir, you did.
Lie in these chambers, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. You already spoke.
So
Thank you.
Is this the vote to approve the DCP? Drought contingency plan?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's what we're discussing.
They're going to be voting to accept the highlighted, I guess.
What's recommended here and this is what we're
The
voting.
highlighted sections prior to accepting the DCP. That's
Everything that's in here is what we're voting.
How can you be voting to approve a 5-year plan after
Mayor.
everything
Mr.
that just
Munster.
happened? I don't understand.
Pardon me, Mark. You've already spoken, and we got to follow the rules. It's been a really long day. So thank you.
It's a
Ma'am, I'm
5-year
sorry.
plan.
We're
It
gonna
should not be
follow
going
decorum.
forward.
Guys, let's please follow decorum. It's the rules. Please. Ma'am, please stop talking.
You should not be voting to
please.
approve this plan, please.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. So, please stop. Please. You're breaking decorum, ma'am. You're breaking decorum.
I don't care. Y'all broken decorum.
Please.
You don't even understand.
Okay, please stop. Rebecca?
Yes, ma'am.
We have a motion and we have a,
Well, we were,
Why are you not voting for this? Are we going to postpone it?
we have a motion and
so Councilmember Barrera made a motion to approve, and then the city attorney brought up that we do have highlighted sections of the ordinance that the council needs to accept into the ordinance. Isn't that correct, Mr. Risley?
that was a
The
clarification.
Make a
council needs to
motion
make an
amend.
amendment to, because it's been adopted already on first reading. In order to get that into second reading, the council needs to amend the ordinance to include the highlighted items.
Yes. So that's what we would do. A motion, it would be a motion to amend.
To amend, to approve, and to include the highlighted item.
Yeah, that's a motion made.
So, Mr. Barrera, that is your motion then? Okay.
Councilman Scott.
Mr. Scott, are you seconding that?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Did you have a comment?
Yeah,
You're good.
I just wanted to say that I advocated to expedite this. I don't know if it's a staff thing. I think it was council driven because we cared about the landscapers and the nurseries. And I also like that we
Ma'am,
added
please,
the
ma'am,
surcharge
please sit
for
down and
people
let's-
that are using too much
Ma'am,
water. And then
ma'am,
finally, I like the
please
fact
sit
that
down. No, there's a time. There's a time. We just closed. Ma'am, please have a seat. Please.
To the point of like frustration.
Ma'am.
surcharge for people who use too much water, and we eliminated the ability for some to get out of the surcharges. I like the fact that we're expediting to take care of small businesses, and I like the ability to move the
Can
meter
you please
down.
help us? Sir, can you please help us? Okay. Absolutely. This is just not the way. This is unbelievable. There's decorum. There is decorum here. There is decorum. This is ridiculous. Oh my God.
I just want to say I appreciate. I wanted to expedite it because I wanted to take care of the small businesses. I like that there's surcharges for heavy water users, residential, commercial, and I like we closed the loophole on those that chose not to participate in that additional fee. And I like the fact that we move the meter down to emergency as opposed to 3. So it did the things I wanted.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if it caused any.
No, it did not. It did not. And anyway, okay, so we have basically the what we were handed today on the agenda. What we were handed on the agenda, that is what all the red line. Correct. And that can be amended again later. 'Cause
This is
Councilwoman Campos. Okay, but everybody has spoken 15 times on this, which is okay because this is a big topic. But we're Councilwoman. I want you to be able to say what you want to say, but please, we are never going to get. Could you please? Please. Oh my goodness, here we go. I know. Y'all want to go next? Let's just get this over with. Next two, stand. Okay, Mark. Okay, I'm not serious. We're breaking decorum, so we're moving on. Mark, please. And if anybody else wants to join them, be my guest. There are rules.
Can we please listen to what they've been saying and coming? All we were asking is for a 2-week delay. That's it. I don't see, why it had to come to something like this. And if we're going to be adding amendments, let me add another amendment. Remove the exemption fee for the large industry water users, the 31 cents. Let me add that one to the amendments.
just seconded Roland's amendment. I don't know why you're looking at me. I didn't. I just seconded that amendment. That's the only thing I know that's on the table.
Right. Okay, so,
What was that again?
Ms. Huerta?
I seconded his motion to do this.
I haven't read this. This is brand new today. You understand?
I know. It is.
You guys are saying that I've changed a couple items, but how do you know that? We haven't read all this.
It's online. It's online.
Okay, so,
Today, February 11th.
Yeah, that's because the day we're approving.
Okay, guys, we're not talking about that. Go ahead.
okay, so now I understand there's a motion to amend, to exempt, to remove.
The exemption fee for large and street users.
Okay, so is that one of the highlighted sections? Because we're talking about the highlighted
Okay,
sections.
so we have an amendment to the amendment. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
wasn't-
thought there was a second. Okay, so there is no second. All right, the motion fails.
You need to.
We're back. Oh, dear Jesus. My God. Rebecca, can we move on?
All of our water away to high volume water users. They're the ones draining our resources, and you guys are trying to put more water in their system. We are the residents of this city. We're the ones who need the water.
Prioritize the needs of ordinary residents instead of the needs of industrial consumers.
Okay.
Take more time to listen to the people. Hear what we're saying.
Okay.
I don't agree with what they did.
Okay, so there was no second to that motion, right? So that we're back to the motion to amend, including the highlighted sections in the plan.
Correct. And we
where
have
we're at.
we have a
And
motion
there
and
was a
second.
motion and a second
Okay.
to that.
Can we, do you want us to vote through the electronic?
I don't have that program, Mayor. If we could just do I could do a roll call,
Go
I'd
ahead.
appreciate it.
Oh, Councilman.
Well, there's another question.
Okay, point of order.
Hernandez.
I'm just curious as to
Yes,
what are we voting on? Is it an amendment that is to the original first reading?
Correct, that's,
And then you'd have to vote on it as
amended, correct.
amended. Okay,
Yes,
so
that's
there's
right.
two votes here.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Miles, I voted, I moved to approve with the amendments as presented.
As presented, that are highlighted
That are highlighted.
in the attached ordinance.
Yes, exactly.
You're because you already adopted this ordinance on first reading. This is amending the ordinance to include the highlighted items on the second
So
reading.
that just gets done once.
Correct.
Thank you.
And it goes into effect right away.
Well, it just gets
Tomorrow.
done once, and then you have to vote on the ordinance
As amended, yes. Okay, so it is two votes. Mhm.
All right, I made my motion.
Okay.
Okay, you
Oh,
ready?
go.
So I'm going to do a roll call vote. So Councilmembers Barrera.
Aye.
Campos. Councilmember Campos? No. Okay. Cantu.
No.
Hernandez. Paxton is absent. Roy.
Aye.
Scott. Vaughn. Mayor Guajardo.
Aye.
Okay, so it fails.
No, was it time?
Yeah, it was a tie, so it fails. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're done. Okay,
It fails.
all right.
So that was just on the amendment. So I guess so. So you're not going to take action?
So we do have so we still have a second vote on the unamended.
Right, the first reading still stands. It just doesn't include any of the amendments proposed by staff. So what passed on first reading is still out there. I just need clarity. Are you not voting on that either?
Which includes help for the landscape and,
I believe, is that correct?
yeah, that's correct.
So would you like to vote on the first reading without the amendments proposed by staff? Well, after their input from other folks, but yeah.
No, I move for approval of the first reading
Right.
without the amendments now.
Well, they were just doing the amendments. I don't know if they did, we didn't approve it. Is that?
Unless your quorum.
Amend what? Yeah, to vote on it for the first reading. So, well, they're going to do the first reading right now.
It sounds like the council meeting's adjourned because there's no quorum. The item, we'll bring it back
Rebecca.
next week. We're going to put it back on the agenda next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so-
Because it was a quorum, it's better that that happened.
Yeah. All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Put it on the agenda for next week. I'm asking to do it.